Well, good morning, good afternoon, clarinets. Sorry the videos are slow in posting. I have very slow broadband at my house, so I'm going to try to get updated and get you some more videos so you have one for every day. So the last time I did line 29 and the warm-up. So watch the warm-up portion every day and follow along with that. Make sure you sing, you do the audiation drill, and then play line 18 and then line 22, especially measures 5 through 8. So you're practicing your F to G. So here's measure 5 to 8 of line 22, okay? Watch my hands. So I want you practicing 5 through 8 of line 22 every day. Now that's 80 on the metronome. To really help your G's get better as you work on that right hand down, you can start speeding your metronome up 1 or 2 beats at a time and playing it over and over again. So here it is. Let's pretend that we've sped it up. So here it is at 90. And still focus on hand position. So it's a little bit faster. As you can see, my hands were popping. I kept my fingers relaxed, curved, and spread out over the keys. I didn't have my fingers behind my clarinet, which sometimes we like to do that. My pinkies are staying above the clarinet. And it's really important to create relaxed hand position. Remember, from our posture to our embouchure to our hands, everything we want to do is take tension out of the body. That's why we sit straight. That's why we have curved hand position. So please remember those things, okay? So work on measures 5 through 8 to work on that G. Right hand down and getting that G, getting really comfortable with going to G's, from F's to E's to D's, C's to G's, okay? All right, so let's look at line number 31. It's dreidel, dreidel. I'm skipping line 30. I don't think line 30 really does anything for us, so don't worry about line 30. Okay, so here's line 31, dreidel, dreidel. This starts out with our open G's and quarter notes going G to E. Okay, so the very first thing you can do is just practice that. You can practice your fingers watching, keeping your fingers over the holes like this, just practicing that. Okay, so you have G to E, G to E. The hard thing about this line, or the thing that, it's not really hard, but people struggle with, is if you see like in measure 2, there's a rest on beat 3, and then measure 4, there's a rest on beat 3, and then measure 6, there's another rest on beat 3. Most people don't hold the note in front of the rest long enough. So I'm going to play it for you. I would encourage you to, when I play this, I want you to finger along and count. And then I want you to rewind the video again and then note names. And then rewind it a third time and play along with me, okay? I've set my metronome at 80 like we do in class. So here is dreidel, dreidel. First time, you're going to count and finger. So you're going to rewind. Second time, you're going to say note names and finger. Third time, you're going to play with me. Okay, ready? So here it is. Now, you'll notice that when I got to measure 2 and I went G, E, that note felt really long. That quarter note did, the E, because I'm going all the way to the rests. Your notes and your rests have to touch. They kiss. So you're going along 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and get 2 all the way to 3. Same thing in measure number 4. You have a D. It's got to go 2 full beats. D, 4. Got to do that. So those are the things that most people struggle with. Does that make sense? Good. All right, we're going to go ahead and go on to line 32 and line 33. Before we do that, in your blue box, we talk about a tie. You're going to like ties, clarinets, because that means you don't have to tongue every note. It's important to note that a tie is good for 2 notes on the same line or the same space, or the exact same note. And what a tie does is it just makes a note longer. So if you have a half note tied to another half note, you don't retongue the half note. It's just ta, or excuse me, ta for 4 beats. And that's a half note tied to a half note. It sounds just like a whole note. Okay, we use ties a lot of times to tie notes across the bar. Maybe not all the time in measures, but we'll do notes across the bar a lot of times. In this beginning exercises, they're going to do in the measures just to get you used to seeing ties. Again, a tie, it connects 2 notes of the same pitch. So that means 2 notes that are going to be on the same line or on the same space. And you can see in our first example, it has 2 half notes tied together, which 2 plus 2 is 4. And then the second example, it has 2 quarter notes tied together. And remember, 1 plus 1 is 2. All right. And then it talks about the warm-up. We do a warm-up every day. I don't remember if I've ever called it that, but that's our audiation drill, and that's playing line 18 and line 22 as our warm-up. Now we can move on to our warm-up chorale. And a chorale is a slow, connected piece. And we work on connecting all of our notes together, not letting the tongue make the notes short. We connect it, okay? So in our warm-up chorale, line 32, you can see it's almost all half notes and whole notes. And a lot of our half notes, some of our half notes are tied together. So let's look at measure 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 2 F half notes together. That makes 4 beats. So you don't retongue that. And then 2 measures later, in measure 6, you have 2 G half notes tied together. So count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's measure 6, and you can see the 2 G's tied together. Okay. Same thing on this chorale that we did on line 31. I'm going to play it 1 time. The first time I play it, the first time you listen to it, you're going to count and finger. And when you're fingering, I have my glasses. When you're fingering, you're going to pay attention to your fingers. Make sure that they're staying curved and close and over the correct holes. Okay. Second time through, you're going to, after I've done that, you're going to rewind it the 30 seconds or whatever it is that the line takes, and you're going to sing your note names while you're fingering. And then a third time, you're going to rewind it, and you're going to play it with me. Okay, so make sure you do that. So here is line 32, and again, my metronome is set at 80. If you have a metronome at home, set it to 80. That's what we play everything at. Now, later on, we'll speed things up, but right now, 80 is a really good all-purpose tempo. All right, so here's line 32. Now you notice the last note had a fermata, so I did hold it longer than 4 beats. If you're playing by yourself, it is up to you for how long you want to hold it, as long as it is longer than 4 beats. If we are in our ensemble, remember that's our class, then you have to do what? I know I heard you say look at the director. You are correct. Very good. Okay, I'm going to play line 33 for you. Now notice 33 has more ties. Measure 1 has 2 C's tied together, just like measure 3. So how many beats are 2 half notes going to be? 4. That's right. There will be 4. If you will look at measure 5 and 6, you will notice that there are 2 quarter notes tied together. Okay? So 2 quarter notes tied together are going to last for how long? 2 beats. That's correct. Very good. And then we have measure 7. On beat 3 and 4, we have 2 F quarter notes tied together. Okay, so they're putting that tie on a different part of the measure, beats 3 and 4. It's still 2 beats. Very good, you were correct. Okay, so same thing. I'm going to play through it again. You're going to rewind it 3 times. First time count finger, second time note names, and then third time play along with me. Okay, and notice first thing we've got C to G right out of the bat. So again, nail that hand position. Make sure you're sitting up straight and tall. Your feet are flat on the floor. You've got the first note in place, and as you're playing your C, you were thinking what you need to do to nail that smooth transition. So here it goes. Okay, now here's the cool thing about line 32 and line 33. We can split it up in class, and part of you can play the top line and part of you can play the bottom line at the same time. So here's a cool, fun idea for you to do. Rewind to when I played line 32. And you know what? Take that back. I'm going to re-record line 32, and then I'm going to wait like a couple seconds, and I'm going to do line 33. Now, you can rewind the video, and when I play line 32, you can play along to line 33 with me. And then you can swap it and do line 32 while I play line 33 so we hear harmony. Do you remember what the harmony is? That's right. That's when we play two different notes at the same time, like some of our duet lines. And unison is it's all the same. Okay, so I'm going to real quickly do line 32 and 33 right in a row so you don't have to try to find where they are. So here we go. Here starts with 32. Now I'm going to do line 33, and you can play 32 along with me to hear the harmony. So here's 33. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the rest of page 10 for today. Later on today, maybe early tomorrow, I'm going to go through and start on page 11. So be watching for that. Have fun working out line 31, 32, and 33. And again, I miss you guys. I cannot wait to see you hopefully next week. Bye, guys.